Arihi Om Sanno Mitrashyam Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Brihaspatihi Sanno Vishnurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Rutam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmam Avatu Tadbhaktaram Avatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sanatana Dharma 101 class continues. Sastras, universality and utility. So we have seen somewhat about Vedas. Vitagnyane iti Veda. Veda mane verb, kriya pada hai. So it makes us to do things, to gain knowledge. That is Veda. Vidagnyane iti Veda. Veda trayi. So Yajurved में ब्राह्मण भाग में ये स्पष्ट है. It is very clear that Vedas are three, and of course a combination of Rigved and Yajurved leads to Atharva Ved. This Atharva Ved was propagated, was with under the instruction of Vedavyas. Atharvangirasa Muni compiled and gave it to Vyasa. So in other words, it is Vyasa along with his disciple Atharvangirasa Muni. Then he gave it to another disciple Sumantu to propagate Atharva Veda. So Paila propagated Rig Veda. Yajnavalkar propagated Shukla Yajurveda, and then Vaisampayana Maharishi propagated Krishna Yajurveda, Jaimini propagated Samuveda, और Sumantu propagated Atharva Veda. So this is how the Vedas came into being. And then the Puranas and Itihasas were given to Romaharsha. Puranas and Itihasas, predominantly Puranas were entrusted to one disciple of Vyasa who is known as Romaharsha. And Romaharsha gave the Puranas again to his disciples known as Suta or Suta Pauranika. And Suta Pauranika propagated these Puranas to Rishis. Normally during Yajnas, in Viramakala, during afternoon, it was a custom that these Suta Pauranikas, so that is a clan, group of people who got these Puranas, so they go into these Yajnavatikas, where the Yajnas are happening, particularly Satra Yaga, that will take place for many hundred years, even 1000 years. In Naimicharanya Kshetra, Nimshar में ये सभी यज्ञ होते थे. उस समय विराम काल में दोपहर में ये सूत पौराणिक लोग जाकर वो प्रसंग करते थे. So Vedas and Puranas started propagating. So Vedas are Sastras. So Sastras doesn't mean only Dharma Sastra. So Vedas are the knowledge, bundle of knowledge or collage of knowledge that helps not only to do yajna, not only to do Devakaryas, it also predominantly it helps to live a structured life so that you get Purushartha. The Phaluto Purushartha, Dharma, Artha, Kama aur Moksha milenge. So that is Vedas. Vedas consists of Shruti, Sruti. Then what is Sastras? Vedas are also Sastras. Sashanati iti Shastra. That which dictates or that which gives us rules, that is known as Shastra. If Vedas gives us rules to live, rules to do puja, then it is Shastra. Shashanati iti Shastra. Today's lecture will be, we have done some portion of Veda. Today's portion is the extension of it on understanding Shastra, which includes Veda, its universality and its utility. Shashanati iti Shastra. So Shastras consists of Vedas, then it consists of Upanishads or Vedanta, and then it consists of Smriti. Smriti is done by rishis, and then it also includes Dharma Sastras, those texts that talks about Dharma, what to do, what not to do. That is known as Dharma Sastra. And Sastra also includes Sutras. That means how do you use the Veda Bhaga and use it towards Prayoga, use it to different karmas. That is known as Sutras. So Vedas, Vedantas, Dharma Sastras, Sutras. These all belong to a portion, belong to a collage of text known as Shastras. So what does Vedas? Vedas, we cannot finish Vedas in one course. So Veda itself proclaims that Vedas are huge. Vedas are very big. Vedas are innumerable. You cannot count Vedas. Vedas themselves say in a beautiful story. So once upon a time, there was a rishi called Bharadwaja. So Vedas are bounty, numerous. Ananta vai Vedaha. This is an important Vakya, Shruti Vakya in Veda itself. Ananta vai Vedaha. Vedas are innumerable. Veda itself proclaims. And it tells by a story. Once upon a time in Vedic age, the rishi Bharadwaj was given 3 lifetimes. So Veda says Shatamanam Bhavati Shatayuhu. So 100 years. So 100 years is one full life. So this Bharadwaja Rishi took 100 years and learnt Vedas. Then he was not satisfied. So then Indra granted him one more 100 years. So 2 ayus he had. He was not satisfied. So Devas granted him 3rd ayus, 300 years. So in total he lived 300 years. All he did was only studying Vedas. He could not still finish. More importantly, he could not get satisfied. So he goes before Indra. Indra upavrajyo vacha. Beautiful story told in Veda. So what is the nature of Vedas? Vedas are innumerable. Ananta vai Vedaha. So this is given by a conversation in Yajurveda as a samvad between Indra and Rishi Bharadwaj, who was interested in learning Vedas. Indra upavrajyo vacha Bharadwaja. Indra calls, hey Bharadwaj, come. Yathe chaturtama yurdhadyam. Why should I give you 4th ayus? You have already been given 300 years. You are asking for the 4th ayus. 400. Even Bharadwaja wanted one more 100 years. Already he had been given 300 years to learn Veda. He could not finish. Kimenena kurya iti. What do you need this 4th 100 year? Kimenena kurya iti. What are you going to do with this 4th ayus? Veda gives story. Brahmacharya mevainena. Brahmacharya mane study. Brahma charati iti, Brahma mane jnana. Brahma acharati iti, brahmacharya. You just chase knowledge. Then Bharadwaja said, Brahmacharya meveinena chareyamiti hovacha. Indra asked, hey Bharadwaja, what are you needing the 4th 100 years? Bharadwaja says, Brahmacharya mevainena chareyamiti hovacha. I want to do Brahmacharya Vrata. That means I want to study. Right? Tagum Hatrin Giri Rupan. Then Indra says, look, there are 3 hills. 3 hills there. Tagum Hatrin Giri Rupana Vigyata Niva Darshayan Chakara. See, this is a story. Conversation happening in Veda. Then this Indra says, see those 3 hills. Vijñātāniva darshayāni chakara. Indra made Bharadwaja to see the 3 hills. Like that 3 hills, go to those 3 hills and get 1 mushti of sand from 3 hill. Teshagum haikaikasman mushtina dadate. Go and get 1 handful of sand from 3 hills. Teshagum haikaikasman mushtina dadade sahovacha. Look, that is Veda. All that thing I am explaining to you is set in some meter. So it becomes easy to memorize, but the story comes. I am explaining to you. So Bharadwaja and Indra converses. Indra calls Bharadwaja. Bharadwaja asks, give me 400 years. Why do you need 400 years? Then Bharadwaja says, I want to do Brahmacharyam Chakara. I wanted to do again studies. Then Indra says, look, there are 3 hills. Tagum hatrin giri rupana vijñātāniva darshayan chakara. Teshagum haikaikasman mushtina dadade sahovacha. Go and get 1 handful of sand from the 3 hills. Bharadvajetyamanantraya. So Bharadvaja listened. Amantraya. So he listened to Indra, and then he did what? He did Amantraya. So he brought 3 mushti of sand from 3 hills. Bharadvajetyamantraya. So he brought those 3 handful of sand. Then Indra says, that's all you have learnt. Vedas are like the 3 hills. All you have done in 300 years is only learning 1 handful. So no matter how many years I give you, you cannot conquer Vedas. Vedava yete, that is Veda. Vedas are huge. No matter how many years we grant you, you cannot capture the Veda. So whatever the gurus tell you, imbibe them. Anatha vai Veda. So Vedas are innumerable. This is a story told as a conversation between Bharadwaja and Indra. So Ananta vai Veda. Vedas are innumerable. Why it is innumerable? Because jnana is bandar. Even if you get 1 handful of jnana, shuddha jnana, it is good. Even to get 1 handful of suddha jnana, not only you get knowledge, you have to आचरण करना चाहिए. ज्ञान को सिखाने के बाद उसको आचरण करना, वही difficult. So that's what Sastras says. Sasanati iti Sastra. They are universal. Whether it is for Yajurveda or Samaveda or Rig Veda, all test dharmo. Dharmo va adhipatihi. Dharma me va varund. Dharma is the king, supreme. Dharmo va adhipatihi. Then first and foremost, Vedas tell to live in harmony. Tell to understand your Atma, tells to understand Paramatma and live in harmony in the nature. So, what is the utility? So, it gives all these stories, it gives all these examples and all these edicts, all these Raja Kattala. So, it is Raj ka Niti, Sabhi Ved mein hai, like Raja Jaisa. Then what it says? Respect the nature. So, first and foremost, Vedic people lived in harmony with the nature. So, always nature comes. Water occupies important place. Agni occupies important place. These are considered to be precious. These are all Devata Swarupa. So, Veda respects and obeys nature. Vedas respect and obey the universe. So the universe is bound by north direction, south direction, east direction and west direction. Beautifully, Veda proclaims this. Veda respects the nature. Veda respects the world. Veda respects the directionality of the world. Namah pracyai disheyaschha devata etasyam prativasantetabhyascha namo namo dakshinayai disheyaschha devata etasyam prativasantetabhyascha namo namah प्रतीच्ये दिशेयाश्च देवता एतस्यां प्रतिवसन्त्येताभ्यश्च नमो नम उदीच्ये दिशे याश्च देवता एतस्यां प्रतिवसन्त्येताभ्यश्च नमो नम ऊर्ध्वायै दिशे याश्च देवता एतस्यां प्रतिवसन्ते नमो ताभ्यश्च नमो नमोऽधरायै दिशे याश्च देवता एतस्यां प्रतिवसन्त्येताभ्यश्च नमो नमो वान्तरायै दिशेयाश्च देवता एतस्यां प्रतिवसन्त्येताभ्यश्च नमो नमो. So it says prachya dishe, pratichya dishe, urdhva dishe, dakshina dishe, and yascha devata prativasantye. Not only it respects the directions, prachye dishe, pratichye dishe, udichye dishe, dakshinaye dishe. It says yascha devata prasivasante. Whatever the devatas. It doesn't say it has to be Agni. It doesn't say, what did I say? Sastras are universal. So it doesn't say Krishna, it doesn't say Rama, it doesn't say Narayana. Whatever the devatas recite in Dakshinabad, Dakshinabad mein Dharma devata, East ma Prachya dishe mein Surya devata. So whatever the devata, let us respect. Yascha devata etasyam prativata. Whichever the devata is living or is having abode, किस किस देवताओं को घर है, किस किस दिशा में किस किस देवताओं को घर है, वो सभी देवताओं को नमस्कार. See, universal. So Veda tells, that is what it is important. Veda doesn't discriminate. That's what I want to tell. If somebody is in Gujarat, they go to Dwaraka. It is as good as seeing Puri Jagannath in Niladri in eastern direction. It is as good as seeing Lord Ranganatha in southern direction. It is as good as seeing Bhadri Vishal in northern direction. It is up to you. It is up to your sampradaya. Whichever the sampradaya you choose, based on your family tradition, based on your Guru Upadesh, it is fine. So it doesn't discriminate. It is universal. That's what I'm saying. Vedas are in a way diplomatic. What did it say? Dakshina yaidishe yascha devata etasyam prativasantye tabhyascha namo namo. What a beautiful phrase. This comes in Yajurveda. All four directions and all the devatas living in all four directions, I pray my obeisance. So universality is preached. Then beautifully it says, not only that, whatever the people, whatever the good people, whomsoever it may be, who are living on the banks of Yamuna and Ganga, it doesn't matter, it doesn't mean that only Ganga and Yamuna should be taken. Whatever Sapta Nadiyon, whatever चिरंजीवी नदियों इंडिया में है, पुण्य नदी, वो सभी तट पे कौन कौन है, वो सभी को नमस्कार. वेदा सेज ब्यूटिफुली, गंगा यमुनयोर मध्ये एव सन्ति ते में प्रसन्नात्मनाश्चिरं जीवितं वर्धयन्ति नमो गंगा यमुनयोर मुनिभ्यश्च नमो नमो Ganga Yamunayor Munibhyascha Namo Namaha. See, I told you, ऋग्वेद में सरस्वती नदी, ऋग्वेद में सिंधु नदी आता है. लेटर डे यजुर्वेद में स्पष्ट से बताया हुआ कि क्या कि गंगा और यमुना तट पे कौन कौन प्रतिवसंती, who are all the people living on the river bed. It's only Upalakshana, Ganga, and it doesn't matter, it doesn't mean that those living in Tapi, those living in Narmada, Gujarat में Narmada और Tapi नदी बहती है. So you may ask the question, why I am living on the tat of Narmada? People do Narmada Parikram. It takes 3 years to complete Narmada Parikram. From Madhya Pradesh all the way up to Gurjar Desh. So does it mean that I am inferior to those people living on the banks of Ganga? No. Ganga, Yamuna are considered to be the representation of all rivers, whether it is Kaveri, Tungabhadra, Krishnaveni, Godavari, Tamraparani, Payaswini, Sabhi. So it only uses 2 Nadi names because of the meter, because of the restriction in the number of words. Ganga Yamuna yor madhye yeva santite me prasannatmana shiram jivitam vardhayanti. Those people, those good people who are residing on the banks of these rivers, may them grant me good living. May those good people help me to have a good life. Prasannatmanaschiranjeevitam vardhayanti. Let them give me peaceful mind. Prasanna atmanam and chiranjeevam vardhayanti. Let them wish me to have peaceful mind and long life. Then it says, let me praise this people, let me praise this land. Namo Ganga Yamuna yor munibhyascha namo namo. It does it twice. So it emphasizes. Namo Ganga Yamuna yor munibhyascha namo namo. Ganga Yamuna yor munibhyascha namo namaha. So living in harmony. Then when it praises the river, it means that you need to protect the river. So it is indicative. You have to infer. Why it praises these 2 rivers? Only Bharat Desh mein nadiyon ko, pedon ko, vrikshon ko, devata jaisa mante hain hum log. Whereas nobody equates river to God in other countries, to my knowledge. Whereas in India mein, rivers are considered to be like a devata. Ma, Ganga Ma. All those rituals done to Ganga is just only symbolic. What it means is it needs to be protected. सनातन धर्म में नदियों को इतना महत्व है, वो तो माता है. नदी, पशु, वृक्ष, माता, all are equal. देशभक्ति, मातृभक्ति, नदियों की सेवा, वृक्षों की पालना, पशुओं की सेवा, ये सभी सनातन धर्म. Because you have to live in harmony. That is the reason we have to say that we have to do go rakshan karna, pashu rakshan karna. See, all these have a basis. What did I say? Universality and utility. Veda is only indicator. Veda says, I praise Gangama, I praise Yamunama. What does that mean? It means you need to take care of the rivers. Then Yajurveda begins, Panta iti pashuhu. Those pashus protect us. Similarly, we have to protect them. Panta iti pashuhu. Yajurveda begins saying that Pashun pahi. May cows be protected. Pashu mane those with 4 legs. Goats, sheep, horse, cow. Anything you can take pashu. Panta iti pashu, because they protect us. Cows gives us milk. Horse helps us to travel. Sheep gives us wool. Ulu. Our goat gives us milk, and goat also helps in farming. The excreta from goat is a natural manure. So, Veda begins saying protect pashus. Yajurveda, first 50 words. The last part of the first 50 words in Yajurveda is Pashupalana. Panta iti pashuhu. So it dictates. The first paragraph of Yajurveda says, Hey Manush, take care of the pashus. Because we need milk for nourishment. It says we need milk for Agnihotra. Agnihotra daily, Nitya Agnihotra में it is only pious को आहुति करते हैं. इसीलिए you have to protect Pashu because they give milk which is needed for Agnihotra. In other words, after Agnihotra, you don't pour the entire milk in the Agni. Only little, symbolic. Then you consume it as prasad. So when you consume milk, it is proteinous. So you become pushed. See how Vedas have done. This is the knowledge of Veda. This is how you should understand Veda. Okay, so Vedas talk about the universe, directionalities, and it wishes the people living on rivers, on the banks of rivers, you all live well and you make me also live well. जनी जनार्दन भावः, इसी से, इस वेद शब्द से ही ये वाक्य बन गया, जनी जनार्दन भावः. If you just take care of the people, it is as good as taking Janardhan. So, jani janardhana bhava. तो जनता की बात कौन है? जनता की बात जनार्दन की बात. So that is Veda, Vidajnane. This is the knowledge, Bandar. So, Ananta vai Veda. Imagine one paragraph or two words we are expanding like that. Panta iti pashuhu pashun pahi. That's all Veda says. Then you expand. An elastic band, like an elastic band. That is Veda. You cannot totally comprehend Veda. For life is not enough. Even 300 life is not enough, even for a rishi like Bharadwaj. Where are we? So what did the rishis do? They plucked some portions. They plucked some portions from Veda and said, hey Pandit, you recite this daily. So when you recite it daily, slowly you get to know what is the inner content of those mantras. It's not just simply for Aarti. It's not simply for Havan. While you use it for Aarti and Havan, it is basically intended to tell you some good meaning. Those good thoughts and good meaning are needed for life. So what does the Veda says? Most important thing, we say that Veda says to always do dana. Of course, you have to do always dana. But how can you do dana? You can only do dana if you work. Agastya khanamanaika nitrihi. Agastya, then it gives you a story. Agastya plowed the land. Khananam mane plowing. Khananam mane digging. Agastya khanamanaika nitrihi. In Rigveda, it tells Agastya plowed the land. That is an indicator. In Rigveda, it says about Agastya Rishi. Then Veda gives a beautiful thing. We say that Vedas don't tell us to make money. Vedas tell make money and protect the money and then use the money for good causes. It says asanchayavan. One word, that's all. Veda says asanchayavan. Asanchayavan means you need to protect your wealth. किसके लिए? अग्नयेवाय वेसूर्याय ब्रह्मणे प्रजापतये चंद्रमसे नक्षत्रेभ्यः ऋतुभ्यः संवत्सराय. It says save money and then it gives you some invocations. Then it says save money. It left it. Then you may ask, save money for what? Save money, save materials for what? Just make sure you do good things. Make sure you protect the nature. Take care of months. Take care of rutus. Take care of samvatsara. That means do well. Don't waste your time. Agnayevaya vesuryaya brahmane prajapataye chandramase nakshatrebhyah ऋतुभ्यः संवत्सराय varuna. Yeah. So it keeps on praising different gods. Varuna. Then it comes to Varuna. Varuna is the Ati Devata, Parjanya Devata. Normally it is Indra, but you can also say Varuna, Parjanya. All these can be interchangingly used to name the god of rain. Then it says rain is important. So save money, save resources so that you can do puja. Puja mane yaja deva pujayam, yaja sangati karane. Not only you simply praise the God, you bring people. In every yajan, in every havan, you bring people and you feed them. When you have to feed them, you need to have lot of materials, lot of rice, lot of gevu, lot of other things. So you need to grow this. So these are all indicators in Veda. Veda, even this much, it is Saptakand. Imagine, if it keeps explaining like this, it will run into thousands of kanda. So when you read these from a guru, you understand what is the purpose of these phrases in Veda. Asanchayavan, Veda says to save material or says to save vitta. You can take anything. In those days, there people used to barter. So I get a cow, I give you 10 bags of rice. So basically, it talks about resources. It can be pulses, it can be wheat, it can be horses, it can be cows, and it can be even money. Swarna vitt or rajatavit, it can be anything, but it doesn't say explicitly what are those. He say asamchayavan. It says asamchayavan means you be a protector. Then it emphasizes the importance of water. It's very important. In Gujarat is a dry state. Gujarat is a dry state. So then how did they do? They built Narmadha canal. Right? That's what Tapi canal. That what Narmada canal is what waters the Rajkot region. Rajkot region produces lot of Karpasaha. Karpasaha means cotton. And Gujarat is the largest producer of cotton in India today because of Narmada canal irrigation. So the government has done in a way what Veda preached. Protect water, channelize water for the good. That also Veda says. Yopam pushpam Veda, pushpavan prajavan pashuman bhavati yaha apaha. Hey Manushya, learn to know the respect of water. Water is precious. Yo apam pushpam. Pushpam mane sreshta. Apam pushpam Veda. That's all it is. Where do we do this? This mantra bhag we recite daily in our puja. It is called mantra pushpa. Why they kept this in daily ritual? Because it emphasizes the importance of water. Without water there is no life. That is why in every daily puja, you have to say this mantra pushpa. And the rishis, later day rishis, named it as mantra pushpa. So if every day people tells, oh, I need to protect water, I need to protect water. So it goes into your brain, drum daily. So they kept it as mantra. Pushpa. Pushpa means shreshta. It's not like flower. Flower is common meaning. Pushpa mane shreshta. Pushpa mane shreshta artha. Yopam. Apam mane water. Pushpam Veda no. Veda mane no. Hey Manushya, know the importance of water. Because only if you protect water, you will have the society will grow. Prajavan. Pashuman. The society will have lot of gows. That's then only you can have Anand factory. Otherwise, how will you have Anand factory? You see how everything it has happened now, without even knowing the meaning of Veda, because we have been doing what our forefathers have told us to do, even though we didn't know the meaning. That is very important, which is known as Sishtachara. Sastra leads to Sishtachar. Yopam pushpam Veda pushpavan prajavan pashuman bhavati. Like that this goes. Veda says, be a protector, save the resources. And among those resources, what is important? The most important resource is water. And then it praises sun. It praises Surya Devata. Why it praises Surya Devata? Surya is also life. It is only because of Surya Devata the life goes on a daily basis, and the Parjanya Devata pours the rain. So this circle, beautiful circle, is praised in Veda. And this is exactly what Parashara Maharshi has said. We don't know what Vedas are. Some people have done something based on Veda. We simply have to follow. In Kali Yuga, we can't understand the meaning of Veda. So be it. But as long as you are able to follow good deeds, what your forefathers did, it is good enough. So, simply, without knowing meaning, in Kali Yuga, let you recite. But down the line, like one Hema Mataji, like up, one may come, one Nani may come. Then that Nani may tell to 100 Gyan kids. आप तो कॉलोनी लोगों को बताइए, वेद तो इतना श्रेष्ठ है. If you go tell the colony people while walking, the knowledge spreads. So Vishnu Puran में Parashara Maharshi says this is very important. Kali Yuga में क्या क्या होता है? Kali Yuga में people simply recite Veda, but he says, what did I say? Sastras. But he says, but do follow the good acts prescribed in Veda. ये तो विष्णु पुराण में आता है. सर्वे ब्रह्म वदिष्यन्ति संप्राप्ते तु कलौ युगे. सर्वे, everybody simply recites Veda. Brahma माने वेद. I already told in an earlier class. ब्रह्म माने वेद, ब्रह्म माने supreme. सर्वे ब्रह्म वदिष्यन्ति संप्राप्ते तु कलौ युगे. In Kali Yuga, people will simply say Veda. That is good, but that's not enough. Na anutishtanti. They will not follow what is said in Veda. That is important. Na anutishtanti. Everybody will simply recite. When can you follow? You can follow only you understand the meaning. Na anutishtanti. Then he says this as a samvad between Maitreya Maharishi and Parashara Maharishi. So he tells to his Shishya Maitreya, he says, Na anutishtanti Maitreya, Shishna Udara Parayana. Shishna Udara Parayana mane, they will be only doing lot of Kamyartha activities, Shishna Udara, and then trying to just make money to satisfy their belly and their pleasures. But they will not follow what is preached in Veda, but they will tell that I am a follower of Veda by simply talking. Sarve Brahma Vadishyanti Samprapte tu Kalau Yuge. Na Anutishtanti Maitreya Sishna Udara Parayanaha. How will people be? They will be only chasing chasing after money to satisfy their pleasures and to satisfy their belly. Sishna Udara Parayanaha. Kali Yuga mein most of the people will be Sishna. Sishna means Kamyarth ke liye. Sishna Udara Parayanaha. Udara mane tummy, stomach. So, Sarve Brahma Vadishyanti Samprapte tu Kalau Yuge. Na Anutishtanti Maitreya Sishna Udara Parayana. So, he in a way indicates, hey Manush, make sure you read Vedas. Don't simply memorize the Vedas alone. Try to understand what is said. You have to follow Anutishtanti. You should not be the one not doing. You should follow. Anutishtanti means you should stand according to what is done in Veda. Don't be simply chasing money to satisfy your needs and satisfy your belly. Udara nimittam na karo. ज्ञान को स्वीकार करो किसके लिए? Not to sell, but to do the true good things preached by Veda. That is Shastra. So what does Shastra say? Shastra says, protect water, take care of nature. So these things come in an important portion in the first chapter of Aranyaka. Aranyaka Bhag mein first chapter. And later days rishis named it as Aruna chapter. Aruna mane Surya. So these things come. Yopam pushpam veda pushpavan prajavan pashuman bhavati. This comes in the first chapter of Aranyakam. It talks about the importance of water. It talks about the importance of Aruna, Surya Devata. And it talks about all these as part of Aruna Chayanam. This they recite in a yaga called Aruna Chayana Yaga. So this portion which talks about nature, particularly water, and the harmony between water and the sun, comes in Aranyaka Bhag, first chapter, which is known as Aruna chapter. Aruna Prashna. Prashna mane chapter. Aruna Prashna. So, this is Shastra. Shastra, see how universal. It doesn't say Shiva, it doesn't say Narayan, it doesn't say Brahma, it doesn't say Gauri. It says Devata. Yascha Devata Prativasanti Thabhyascha Namo Nama. What a beautiful phrase. There won't be any religious fights. It is up to you. Yema ji ko Dwaraknath pasand hai to Yema ji to aap to Dwaraknath ki seva karo. राम को श्री रंगनाथ पसंद आई तो मैं तो श्री रंगनाथ को सेवा करूं. सो याश्च देवता प्रतिवसंती ताभ्यश्च नमो नमो. गंगा यमुनयोर मध्य मुनिभ्यश्च नमो नमो. What a beautiful phrase. There is proof that there was civilization. That's what I'm coming. There is proof that there was civilization in those days, Vedic days. In Rig Ved में सिंधु नदी आता है. We saw the story of a prince living on Sindhu Dir. Now we say Veda refines, Veda branches. Sruto vibhinnaha, bhinna bhinna hai. So many things are there scattered. So now the Veda spreads, Yajurveda comes. Then what does Yajurveda? Yajurveda gives reference to Ganga Yamuna. And this mantra, what I recited, when any good things start, pandits recite this. Why they kept it? Because you are gathering in this Prithvi. Let there be harmony, let there be no war, let there be always peace in all four directions. Upper direction, downward direction, let there be prosperity. You see, so when you begin a havan, the first thing you do is you make sure the government and the Raja or the minister or the prime minister is doing job, and we praise that God to give strength to the ruler. Nowadays it's prime minister or president, whatever. So parvata iva vichachalihi indro ive vadruvattishta iha rashtramudaraya idam indro adhidarat. See, so the Yajamana stands and all the people in the sabha, badi log, they take akshata in the hand when they start Namassabhayai. He says Namassabhayai, Namassakinam, you are my friend. So the Yajamana says when he begins a yaga, Achamanya, after you purify yourself doing Achamanya, Achyuta, Ananta, Govinda, then Prananayamya, then you purify your inner part during Pranayama. Then he stands before the Sabha and he says, Namassabhayai Namassakinam, you grant me the permission to do the good thing. Then what these pandits say, Parvata iva vichachalihi, then he says, Parvata iva vichachalihi, Indro ive vadruvasthishta, iha rashtramuda, ye Raja, ye Yajaman. Because yagas are done by Yajamana. Asya Yajamanasya Saka Kudumbanam Ayuhu Aishwarya Vidya Abhivardhyartam Ishtakamya Purtyartam Yajanam Karishye. You say, Yajamana says, the Pandit says, Asya Yajamanasya Saha Kudumba Aishwarya Ayuhu Vidya Vridhyartam. Then the Pandits bless. How they bless? Parvata iva vichachalihi indro ive vadruvasthitta yarashtamudaraya. Without knowing the meaning, without knowing the artha, we have been doing this. But it has everything as a meaning. Then, once it praises the government and invokes the god to give the government and the state good power to rule, then the Pandits recites this. Ganga Yamanayor Madhye Munibhyascha Namo Namaha. Then they recite, then the yaga begins. So Sastras are universal. And what is the utility? The utility of Veda is not simply doing a havan. While doing havan, it preaches you. That is what I said. Today's class is Sastra. Sasanatiti Sastra. So what you do? Every day when you do the daily ritual, you do the mantra pushpa. What is there in mantra pushpa? It doesn't say, hey Rudra. It says, apa, yopam, pushpam, veda, pushpa. Then if you protect water, Narmadha canal, it is only because of Narmadha canal, Gujarat state is flourishing. Because it's a dry state. वो तो बारिश नहीं आता है उधर. केरला जैसा नहीं. Southern Karnataka jaisa barish nahi, Assam jaisa nahi, Meghalaya jaisa nahi. Then what you do? You protect water. So from Omkareshwar and from eastern Madhya Pradesh, Narmada maa to bahiti hai. Usko channel karo, usko save karo. You see? So that is what it says. Pushpavan. If you protect water, Prajavan. The society, Prajavan mane, you will give like, simple meaning is you give rise to more baby, not that one. The society spreads, the society develops, Prajavan. Then Pashu, Pashu mane wealth, Vitta. Pashu mane cow, Pashu mane wealth. Prajavan, Pashuman, Bhavati. If you protect the water like a pushpa, if you take care of water like pushpa, it will make sure the society spreads and flourishes. Prajavan, Pashuman, Bhavati. But we didn't know the meaning. But we built the dam. We developed Anand Dairy. We developed Rajkot and Saurashtra region. Because some people, one or two people, whether it is Sinor on the banks of Narmada, you know Sinor गांव नर्मदा के बैंक में है, वही गांव एक ही ब्राह्मण था अथर्व वेद को मालूम होने वाला. 50 years back, only in whole of India, Sinor गांव में एक ही गुजराती ब्राह्मण था, उसको तो अथर्व वेद ज्ञान था. Then people from south came and learnt Atharva Veda from Sinor Brahman. Sinor to Narmada tat pe hai. You see? So likewise, somewhere there are people who have the knowledge. So Sastras are, it doesn't discriminate that only Gujarati should know Atharva Veda. No. Then people from Tamil Nadu came and learnt Atharva Veda. Now Atharva Veda is flourishing. So Vedas are universal. So what are Vedas? Vedas doesn't say that it is one. Some Vedas is for Gujarati. Some Vedas are for Maharashtrian. Some Vedas are for Varnashi Pandit. It doesn't say. Vedas are universal. That is why it is in Devavani. Universal. And it is in a poetic language. So all the story I told, oh Bharadwaj, Indra and Bharadwaj talk, Then Indra called Bharadwaj. Bharadwaj said, I need 400 year. Then Indra asked, why do you need 400 year? I want to learn. Brahmacharyam kuryat iti ya ete ya veda eti. This is Veda. Mushtim adatata. Bring one handful, 3 in mushtim adate. Bring 3 mushti of sand. That's all you can do, Bharadwaj. So be content with what you learn. But then Parasara Maharshi says, you have to do Anushtana, what is preached in Veda. So Sastras are universal. I gave you an example. How a Brahman in Sinor Gaon, very remote village in Narmadha Tat. I don't know whether you have gone there or not. It is near Vadodara. Vadodara district में है. मैं तो तमिलनाडु आदमी है. But you see, I know this story. So वडोदरा डिस्ट्रिक्ट में सिनोर जैसा एक गांव है. उसमें था एक ही ब्राह्मण था, उसका अथर्व वेद का ज्ञान था. सभी भारतवर्ष में वो 1 और 2 थे 50 साल पहले. So because it is in a universal language spoken within Bharat Desh, अखंड भारत में वेद वाणी. So सरस्वती का वाणी था संस्कृत, उसी में था. इसीलिए people from Tamil Nadu या people from Dharwad, people from Hubli were able to come and learn. So universal. And what is the utility? Not simply to do puja. Pujas are done to invoke the blessing of devatas, but the mantras predominantly used are talking about the welfare of the society. That we need to know. The important mantra which every pandit recites in daily is mantra pushpa. वो mantra pushpa में वो जल समृद्धि और जल और सूर्य, जल और अग्नि का क्या संबंध है उसका तो विवरण है. इसीलिए वो डेली बोलते हैं हम. And the first phrase itself is enough. Yopam pushpam Veda. Ye Manushya, understand Veda. Learn the essence and presence and wealth of water. Yaha apam pushpam Veda. Because it is the life. It is the life giver. Pushpa pasuman prajavan bhavati. Okay? So Vedas, the Vedas are supreme. Only thing is we need to, of course, why I gave you the story of Bharadwaja and Indra, we can't learn everything in Veda, but at least something. Listen, in few classes, now you know the importance of Veda. These are not simply just rote learning and reciting and then get money and go. No. This is how people lived. Maybe 800,000 years back, people understood everything. Then all the invasions came. Slowly, these things, interest eroded. People went away. But that is why we say Vedas are gospels for Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma ka mool, Ved. Ved mane Sastra. Ved also, in a way, Sastra includes Veda, Smriti. And then there are 18 Smritis. 18 Smritis done by 18 Rishis. Similarly, there are 18 Dharma Sastras done by 18 Rishis. And the important thing is Manu Yajnavalka, like that. And Dharma Sastrate Bodhayana Apastamba, like that. Bodhayana Apastamba, Kaundinya, Agastya. So there are 18 Dharma Sastras and 18 Sutras. Sutras are the text that tell what Veda mantras should be used for what prayoga, for what activities. That is known as Sutra. So Apastamba, Bodhayana, Ashwa, Bodhrayana, then Kaundinya, Gautama, Agastya, Ityadi. Similarly, 18 Dharma Sastras. So there is no time to learn all. So at least learn something. So Sastras, universality and utility. So we have covered as much as we can in Vedas. Vidagyane iti Veda. Vedo kilo dharma moolam jagat. Manu says, dharma mool ka, akhila dharma ka mool kya? Vedo akhila dharma moolam. Vedaha. Vedas trayi. Vedas branched into Vedangas, Vedantas, Smritis, Sutras, then Purana, Itihasas. Itihasa, iti, iha, asan, iti, itihasa. This is how it happened. The story that happened, written by a guy or a girl who saw what actually happened. So Valmiki lived during the time of Sri Ram, so he wrote, so it became Itihasa. Vyasa lived during the time of Duryodhana or Dharmaraj, so it is Itihasa. Whereas Vishnu Puran was written by Parashara Maharshi, he talks about Bhagavan Vishnu. So, Bhagavan Vishnu is universal. So then, if you do not live during the time the heroes and heroines live or did act, then it is known as Purana. Pura api navam. Even though it is old, but the things that are told in Purana are useful even today. Pura api navam iti Puranam. Iti iha asan. This is how it happened, narrated by a contemporaneous writer, that is known as Itihasa. So there are two Itihasas. One is Ramayana or Mahabharata. Purana, Ashtadasha Purana. One Purana written by Vyasa's father, Parashara Maharshi, as a conversation between Parashara Maharshi and his Sishya Maitreya. That's what I told you. In that shloka I said, Sarve Brahma vadishyanti samprapte tu kalau yugau na anutishtanti Maitreya. So Parashara Maharshi talks to Maitreya. Na anutishtanti Maitreya Shishna udara parayanaha. So that is Vishnu Purana mein aata hai. Vishnu Purana is a conversation between Parashara Maharshi and his Sishya Maitreya Maharshi. Sahana bhavatu sahanau bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahe tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahe. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om.